Right, this is interesting. Basically, I'm just saying this more for myself than anyone else. It's just a bit of an opinion, if you like, about Brexit, the referendum, and what I think is the right decision about it. Because I'm going to be honest, the amount of shit I've been given today, more than anything, the amount of arguments, the amount of comment wars I'm in on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, in person, on the phone, text, everything is actually a little bit mental. So I'm just going to have a quick, really, upload this to my channel that I don't really use other than for Twitch, just to really point out my views. So we'll start off by explaining my political views. I'm not the most political person on the planet. I vote Liberal Democrat. I'm a member of the Liberal Democrat Party. I pay a donation every month. That's who I follow. That's who I would like, ideally, although it's not looking like it's going to happen anytime soon, to run the country. This camera is shocking. Like I said, so I'm a Liberal Democrat, which means obviously the majority of the Liberal Democrat Party did vote to remain. I voted yesterday for Brexit. I voted to leave the country, the EU. I'm absolutely knackered because I actually stayed up. I've not been sleeping. I woke up at 7 a.m. on Thursday. It's now 11:15 on Friday. I've not slept. I've stayed up all night for the referendum. I watched the results. I watched the David Cameron's speech, and I've seen the Nigel Farage, the Boris Johnson, what they've had to say. I watched the results coming in. It was really interesting. It was really entertaining. I'm just going to quickly go over 5-6 points of what I think, why I think it's the right decision. For starters, the economy. People are saying the economy is going to collapse, that we're going to run out of money, that we're going to enter another recession. That's a lot of bullshit. That's just scaremongering. Our economy will be absolutely fine. The EU have already said to us, we want to keep trading with you. Stop panicking. We want to keep doing trade with you, even if you leave us, because we give a lot more to the EU than we seem to get out of it. China want deals with us. We've got the likes of the USA out there. We've got plenty of countries to trade with. We're still going to be making money as a country. We're just going to be paying less out, if anything. We'll probably make a little bit less, but we'll be paying a little bit less out, which for me is better. That's all you need to say about the economy. People need to stop worrying about it. The thing that people seem to not realise, they think we're going to enter World War III because of this. The EU has nothing to do with our allies if it were a war. That's NATO. NATO's who we're with still. We've got a permanent seat on the UN, we're part of NATO. If there's a war, we've got allied countries, be it in or out of the EU. We're part of NATO, we stick up for each other still. I think staying in NATO and leaving the EU is the more important, is the best way to go, if you like. Immigration is obviously the big one, the big bit of this story, if you like, the big bit of the argument. Which way would improve immigration? The borders aren't going to be shut, the borders are going to be tightened, which anyone from Britain will tell you it needed to be done. It needed to be closed a tiny bit. We needed to stop anyone and everyone from Europe coming in, because there is too much unemployment in our own country with our own people. I'll admit it myself, I've been struggling for work at times when I've been struggling to get jobs in the past, and I have been beaten to it by other people, whether that's because they're more qualified than me, maybe, and I don't resent them for it at all. I'm not a racist in any way, shape or form. I'm happy for us to have the Europeans and wherever, any country come over here, and I'm more than happy with them. Working here and working in the NHS and working in plumbing or building or whatever, that's absolutely fine for me. What I don't want is for us to be overpopulated, because we're having kids at the end of the day, and we can't keep everyone coming in and having our own kids. We either need to stop having kids or stop letting people in. So tightening up a little bit is the way to go. It's not going to stop anyone coming in. It's just going to make sure proper checks are done. It's going to make sure people who come in are going to be working here, are going to be making a contribution into the country. And that's the most important thing. If they're making a contribution into the country, I'm happy for them to stay. I'm happy for them to come. If they're going to come here, claim benefits, claim housing, which housing wise, I've had a lot of problems in the past myself. If they're going to claim housing and benefits and job seekers and universal credit and whatever, no, we can't just be letting everyone like that in. They need to be at least receiving a job offer or looking actively for work and at least getting some form of success. Then we move on to some of the lesser issues which I've seen a lot about on Facebook, namely football. It's not going to affect football. We're still going to be in the European Championships, the Champions League and the Europa League, because we're still in Europe as a continent. We're still going to be in the Euros because we're still in Europe as a continent. We're still going to be in the Eurovision Song Contest because we're still in Europe as a continent. We're still going to have an England football team because we're still England. Work permits are going to be tougher. It's just more or less the same as if you look at Man City, Aguero, Otamendi, Demichelis and Caballero are all from South America, as is Fernando and Fernandinho. If you look at Man United, Fabio da Silva and Rafael da Silva were from South America. Why can I not remember any South American players from United? We'll move on from United. If you look at Chelsea, Ramirez was from obviously South America. Obi Mikel was from Nigeria, was it? It's hard to think of them it's hard to think of South American players when you have to think about it. Mohamed Al-Mehdi or whatever his name is from Arsenal's from Egypt. Mohamed Salah was from Egypt. They're not European. They need work permits. So it's just going to be the same as that. People are still going to just need work permits. Now it's going to be tougher. It's going to be less rubbishy signings. Pointless players coming over from Europe, and it should make the Football League a lot more entertaining, or the Premier League a lot more entertaining. Magic Stars, that's the biggest debate for some unknown reason. You can still get Magic Stars in England. It's made by a British company. You'll be able to get them all across Britain. I know that on the back of it says only available in the EU. That's just something they've got to put on. You will still be able to buy them in Britain. If anything, it'll stop in the EU before it stops in Britain. I don't even like Magic Stars. Final 2 points, and then I'll get this off. This is the most pointless video ever. I don't know why you're watching, if you are. If anyone is, I just wanted to get this out there to get people off my back and to vent my stress out a little bit, because my god, not only am I tired, but I am fucking annoyed at some of the comments I've read. David Cameron obviously resigned at the end of the referendum, which isn't a massive surprise. I don't think he should have done it. I think he's made himself look stupid. Things haven't gone his way, he's resigned. That's ridiculous. I think David Cameron's a fantastic leader of the country. I think he's done a lot for us since he came in 5 years ago. I'm a bit gutted to see him step down. I'm hoping we don't get Boris in. I'm hoping we don't get someone like Nigel Farage in. And I'm hoping for a coalition government again. I think that's the way to go. I think Labour and Conservatives working together is going to be the way to go. And I think we should need to do a general election now as well. I think the fact David Cameron stepped down, the fact I wouldn't be surprised to see Jeremy Corbyn step down in the coming weeks. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nigel Farage step down in the coming weeks as well. I think we need to decide who's going to run the country. And I think we need to have a vote again. Now things are more different than ever. We're going to have a Scottish referendum in the coming months. When Scotland are more than likely going to go independent to stop them, because if Scotland go independent fast enough, they won't leave the EU. Same with Northern Ireland. Wales are happy staying with us, and Wales are smart. When Scotland go over to the EU and Scotland go into the Euro, Scotland are going to collapse completely. And mark my words, come back to this video in 5 years' time and tell me how things are then. But yeah, that's all really. I just want to get that off my chest because I'm fucking wound up by the comments I'm reading. If you've got any questions for me about anything, leave a comment. If not, thanks for watching, I suppose. I don't know why you haven't. Probably see some more Twitch videos up here this week, but thanks a lot for that, guys. Enjoy your evening.